Hey everyone, and welcome to another algorithm video to soothe those algorithm feelings.
Now you guys might be wondering why you haven't seen us in like a month or a month and a half.
As you know, Hollywood's been on strike, but that ain't gonna stop us from working.
That is not the reason we haven't been here, even though if that would be a good reason, then it is the reason we're not here.
So what happened was we actually got to shoot a movie once again with her as the producer and me as the production manager.
And before you get confused, yes, we were allowed to do that during the strike.
And for more information about how we were able to do that during the strike, tune into next week's episode of Abba Josie. So unlike a lot of people, we were lucky enough to work on a movie. We took like 18 days to shoot a romantic comedy, family comedy, kind of like My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's called The Italians.
There was lots of good food.
Like there were like 10 Italians working on this movie. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, and they all knew how to make pasta sauce.
We can't say who's starring in it, but we can tell you that it was a pretty fun time. We got to work with a lot of people who we worked with before on Miranda's Victim, which we're going to talk about in just a minute.
I am the producer, so I sit in a trailer and I do a lot of paperwork, and then sometimes I get hungry and I go get a snack.
She's underselling. She got us a lot of snacks. There's a ton of snacks, including my favorite snack, the meat sausage.
What else would the sausage be made out of? Vegetables? Then it's just a carrot.
Yeah, okay, fine. A sausage. I have a sausage, but that's my favorite snack.
I know, and you eat it like a cigar?
The best shot of the entire movie, which is her. She got to play a part. What part did you play?
I am a Jehovah's Witness. Do I know what that means? No.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to tell you. In order to get parking for our crew, I had to go to the Church of Scientology and sit there for 3 hours listening to them talk, take a tour of the whole church. I even bought their freaking book.
Here's what the worst part is. Then he is on set every day and he's like, you should really go to Scientology and talk to them. And then he forces me to go to Scientology so that they can show me videos. I was almost forced to join a cult.
I think I actually did join a cult.
I'm pretty sure you did. You bought the book. See, this is why it's important to make a movie with a lot of money so you can just pay to get a parking lot.
Okay, but let's get to why we're really here.
Last week, we released the trailer of our film, Miranda's Victim, and it's coming out October 6th in the United States.
That's the movie that we worked on last year in New Jersey. Ironically, takes place in New Mexico.
But New Jersey is really a lot like New Mexico, so I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're pretty much the same state.
Yeah.
They both have new in the name.
We don't know yet when it's going to come out in Germany or anywhere else in the world, but we will absolutely let you know when we do.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to watch the trailer and give you some anecdotes about our experiences on the set. She's also in this movie as well. Who do you play?
I play Barbara Sue, and I have a wonderful scene with Abigail Breslin, and I'm so excited about that.
So we're going to watch the trailer of Miranda's Victim, starring Abigail Breslin, Donald Sutherland,
Ryan Felipe, Mireille Enos, Emily Van Camp, Josh Bowman, Brent Sexton, Kyle MacLachlan,
Taryn Manning, Nolan Gold, and your very own Andy Garcia.
How is Andy their very own? Josie is their very own.
Oh yeah, and also Josie.
And I'm your very own.
Point is we have quite a great cast in this movie, and we're very excited for you guys to see it. We've seen it at the film festival premieres, and the audiences have loved it.
And this week, we actually get to go to the big red carpet premiere in Hollywood.
Now, Miranda's Victim is the story about the origin of the Miranda rights through the eyes of the victim.
And now, if you don't know what the Miranda rights are, because they're probably not named that in other countries, but it is your right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. The things that the cops always say when they arrest you.
Now we're looking up the trailer and we're seeing how many sites have actually published this, and it's like, my gosh, there's like a dozen, maybe? Like 10?
Yeah, and one of them has 400,000 views.
Woohoo! You want to pick the one with 400,000 views?
Yeah, it's probably better.
All right, so you see that car right at the very beginning?
To get those cars, we actually worked with an antique motor club, and we went to their like Sunday meetings where they show off all their beautiful cars. It was awesome.
We had a great time checking out all those cars, and we basically got to pick which ones we wanted to be our picture cars. That's what they're called when they're in the movie. They're called picture cars.
Yeah, we had to check if they're historically accurate, if they would fit in the time frame, and if, you know, they look cool.
Anyway, that was one of our first experiences when we got there.
Mr. Miranda. A girl was grabbed on 7th Street on Saturday night, right around the same time that you got out of work. Can you describe the man?
Number one looks like him.
The lineup of the 4 guys, we actually took that from the actual picture of the lineup of the 4 guys.
Yeah, what was really lucky is that when we created the story, was we had a lot of the court transcripts and the police reports, so we could be really accurate with those things.
Something on a side note that was difficult to be accurate with because I had to deal with it with the makeup artist, right? Were the tattoos on Miranda himself. There were so few pictures that we had to kind of take a little bit of creative leeway on figuring out what tattoos were on him.
But we do know he had tattoos, so.
That was definitely in the report.
Tell me everything. And don't leave anything out.
I'm testifying. Are you sure about this?
All rise.
That courthouse was actually built from scratch. We had so many amazing set dressers and construction workers.
In fact, there are actually 3 courtrooms that were built. One was in a police station that was kind of already built and we just made it look better. But this one, the one that Donald Sutherland is in, it was built straight from scratch at Monmouth University.
And then right next to it, also at Monmouth University, we built a Supreme Court. Absolutely magnificent.
I don't want to see you become damaged goods. It's not just for me.
The prosecution calls Patricia Ann Shumway.
What about the next girl?
Promise I'm gonna put this guy in jail for a long time.
The jury has found you.
Everett loves a shot of when Donald Sutherland looks slightly off to the side. It's not that specific line, but there is a line in the movie where Donald Sutherland is speaking directly to Everett.
So here's the story. As the unit production manager, I'm not on set all the time. But when Donald Sutherland was there for 4 days, I was like, I want to meet Donald Sutherland. So I literally snuck my way into the set and I got to sit in the eye line when Donald Sutherland says the line, "Mr. Turoff, you may call your next witness." So if you ever see this movie, just know when you hear that line, he's saying it to me.
Guilty as charged.
Hello, Ernest. John Flynn.
Can you get me out of here?
I believe I can.
Aren't you gonna ask me if I'm guilty?
I'm far more interested in why you signed that confession.
All right, I have to say, of all the actors, I was most impressed with Ryan Felipe. Like, everyone else was fun and cool and great. I mean, Abigail Breslin is such a doll. We love her to death. But Ryan Felipe was so dedicated to his craft. He was always rehearsing. It was such a pleasure watching him work. I really loved Ryan Felipe.
I know what you're trying to do. A man's as guilty as sin.
The issue is whether this defendant's confession should have been allowed in evidence.
It was coercion, plain and simple.
There was not an attorney present.
This line, "there was not an attorney present," was in a courtroom in a police station that's actually from the 1960s. And they quite literally tore it down the day after we stopped filming.
That's right. There was a new police station literally 1 block away, and they were basically moving the entire police station over while we were filming in there.
Don't make him the face of your crusade. What about Miranda's victim?
I really don't care.
Objection, Your Honor.
Your Honor, you must stop this! You must stop this now! The cases before us raise questions.
Right there, that shot right there, that was in Monmouth University. We used Monmouth University a lot. That was the Supreme Court that she was talking about, where we built it right next to the other court where Donald Sutherland was in. Let me tell you one thing. So the DP saw the Supreme Court room set and was like, man, we need these giant balloon lights, and it was gonna cost us like thousands of dollars. And that was one of the moments where I was like, no. You don't get your balloon lights. Figure it out. We had a really great gaffer. His name was Danny, and he figured it out. He set up a whole system with the lights up there. And it looks great. So I was happy to deny the DP his balloon lights.
Oh, but also, look, you paused on the perfect shot. That's Malou.
There's Malou in the jury.
What if they say he's not guilty?
The Supreme Court might make us retry him.
The whole world wants nothing but to take from us.
Miranda did not request counsel, therefore, we reverse.
And being locked away is the only thing that lets me sleep at night.
So this is a secret. But during the editing of this trailer, they might have tricked us a little bit. Abigail says the line, him being locked away is the only thing that lets me sleep at night. But the shot of her saying night is not that shot. In this shot, she actually says die. You wouldn't notice, but I noticed because I've seen all the shots.
By the way, Kyle MacLachlan was such a sweetheart. He was only there for one day because he played a Supreme Court justice. It's a small part, but he's a good guy, man. He was funny. When he was on set, he was just making everybody laugh. All the other justices were like, you guys got to concentrate and stop laughing at Kyle.
And he like remembered everyone's name. Like I walked up to him the day before. I had a question for him because I was organizing his transportation. I introduced myself. The next morning, he's like, Josie, so great to see you again. And I was just like, hey, what? Like, you met hundreds of people yesterday. Amazing.
He didn't remember my name. And also, Donald Sutherland was awesome. All I did was just get to go in there and say hello and nice to meet you. I'm the UPM, and I got to get back to work. So the only words he said to me were, well, then get back to work.
So hard to have to keep reliving this over and over. She's worked so hard. She's doing what's right.
Mr. Miranda, our justice system has afforded you every privilege, every protection. Hey! This is a courtesy not extended to your victim.
And there you have it, guys. That's the trailer for a movie that she produced and I managed.
I really can't wait for you guys to see it. Once that movie comes out in Germany, I'll be like, go watch it, go watch it. Also, since I'm in the movie, somebody's gonna have to dub my voice.
Oh man, I wish I was in the movie. Then Peter Fleckner could do it. But we're really, really proud of this movie. And so we're very excited for its release. This is the biggest movie we've worked on so far, so hopefully we'll work on more.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. And also, huge shout out to Eric. We are so happy that we could get you 1 degree closer to Kevin Bacon.
And don't forget to tune in next week for our Hollywood Strike episode of Abba Josie. Tschüss!